Alright, guys, so welcome back to Into the Infinityverse, where I talk about certain aspects of the Infinityverse, the shared fanfiction universe that my friend Jason Voorhees 2011 and I created, with some help from a friend of ours, Cody Bradish, as well as another friend who's been doing some on-again, off-again work for us, Major Mercury. So, yeah. Basically, this is like talking about like certain aspects of the Infinityverse and talking about like all the other stuff we're doing with them and what the characters are and where they are and what kind of canon we're kind of taking and not taking. So yeah, we're going to be talking about something I have talked about before, but we're going to go a little more in depth with it, and that is the Transformers. So Transformers plays like a major role. Also, I don't know if you can hear this through the camera, but they're doing work on on my roof. So I don't know if that if that's going to bleed through, but yeah. Anyway, just gonna power through it. Anyway, so as I was saying, basically the Transformers universe kind of plays like a big role in the Infinityverse. They're one of the more like bigger kind of universes that are like aspects of this universe. Optimus Prime currently is part of the Infinity League, the main the main team that is protecting the main Earth. He's one of the leaders, and he was also part of another group, the Illuminati, who, if you haven't read the storyline right now, he's basically the reason why things are kind of going bad, right? One of the reasons why things are kind of going as bad as they are. But the Autobots and Decepticon war, and if you're wondering what kind of continuity we're kind of taking for this, like what is the main continuity we're following, it's very much a mix of G1 and IDW with little sprinkles of Image, which I'll get to in a bit. But yeah, the main focus, it's a combination of there are we did take pics of like Robots in Disguise and Prime and others, and those universes are existence of the multiverse. Like those are those are other Transformers out Transformer continuities out there in the universe, but there are like bits and pieces of those universes here, the Infinityverse takes place on Earth Prime, so this is like the Earth Prime version of the character you saw in Transformers Robots in Disguise or Armada or something like that. This is the Earth Prime version, just like how there's I'm trying to explain this the best I can. It's like, again, there is a multiverse, but this is like the main Earth version of those characters. So yeah, so the Autobots and Decepticons, their war didn't take place in they didn't show up in the 80s, and here it was like the 90s 2000s era when mankind met the Autobots and actually teamed up with G.I. Joe. Essentially, what it was is that the Decepticons found Cobra and the Decepticons made an alliance that still holds to this day, and the Autobots came out of hiding to work with mankind. In fact, the president of this universe, not the real life guy, in our universe, it's Josiah Bartlett, who is from West Wing, who is the president of in the Infinityverse. He's the president of the United States in the Infinityverse, I should say. So yeah, when he was still senator, he was actually kind of like the go-between between the Autobots and humanity when the Autobots revealed themselves to help them fight Cobra and the Decepticons, and also work alongside G.I. Joe. So the Joes and the Autobots actually have a very long-standing relationship as well. They have a long-standing alliance and everything else. And the Autobots are seen as like planetary allies. They've been seen as a major a major aid in defending mankind, defending the Earth. And Optimus has made it a very goddamn chair. Optimus has made it a very I fucking hate this chair sometimes, I swear. Optimus has made it a very solid point to basically keep that alliance going. Like, he really wants to keep that team, this friendship between Earth and the Cybertronians together. Like, that's the whole point, is that he has done a lot of shady shit with the Illuminati to keep Earth safe, because he really, it's Optimus Prime. He still loves mankind, and wants the freedom of is the light of all sentient beings. So yeah. Now the other thing is that not every Autobot and Decepticon is on Earth. Not all of them are there. Or not all of them. There are many Autobots and Decepticons all across space. Like, there are not just on Cybertron, but there are Autobots and Decepticons who have who have bases, who have their own agendas. There's still a war on Cybertron, which is being it's an Autobot resistance force against Shockwave that's being led by Alita, but there are other Autobots and Decepticons who are not on Earth who are fighting the war or doing their own thing out in space. So it's not like it's not like just a constant war. This war has been going on a couple million years. Another major change to in this continuity is that there was a war between the Gems and the Cybertronians. Before the Cybertronian Civil War, the Gems, the Gem homeworld, invaded Cybertron in an attempt to take Energon, as well as add it to their empire. This is where Megatron, before he became leader of the Decepticons, became a war hero and actually helped fight, rally the Cybertronians against the Gem invasion. He actually ended the war when he defeated Yellow Diamond in single combat. Like, that was the backbreaker right there. Like, the war lasted a couple thousand years, but at the end of it all, seeing Yellow Diamond's defeat at the hand of Megatron not only kind of really broke the spirit of Homeworld for a while, it also galvanized a lot of people to follow Megatron even more. So that was that was very much the kind of turning point for Megatron to have the next step in trying to gain more power. Now, as for other characters, I'm not going to talk about every single Transformer and what they're doing, but there are Decepticons who have their own. Like I said, there are Decepticons who have their own agenda. There's Scorponok, he's got his own thing going. There's Overlord. There's Straxus. There's Thunderwing. A lot of these major Decepticon warlords who are trying to gain their own, carve out a little empire, or even replace Megatron at the moment. But yeah, they've got their own thing, and we'll get to them. We'll see them later in the universe. But yeah, now this is something I haven't talked to Jason about. But I thought it would be it's a fun idea, and I kind of wanted to play with it. Is this idea I had that kind of delves a little more with Image, how it takes a little bit from the Image books. Basically, the idea is that the first Autobots and Decepticons, it wasn't like every Autobot was there on the ship. The Ark and the Nemesis were not they crash landed on Earth, but it was a lot different. How it went down was a lot different. Basically, the Ark did crash on Earth, but it crash landed with a very small crew, meaning it was only Optimus, Wheeljack, Cliffjumper, RC, and Ratchet who were the first Autobots to show up on Earth. The others were all during an attack by the Nemesis. Optimus basically shot the Autobot, and got all these Autobots together on escape pods and shot them off into space. So it was only him and a small, a skeleton crew who refused to stay behind. And eventually, all the other Autobots found their way to Earth, kind of like in the movies where Optimus is I am Optimus Prime, and I send this message out to to the stars. We are here. We are home. It was like that, where the Autobots and other ones from across the stars, it wasn't just the ones he saved from the Ark that jettisoned onto the Ark, away from the Ark. it was other Autobots who were like all over the stars. Like they all had ships, or they came directly from Cybertron, and eventually more and more Autobots came to Earth, because at that time Earth was working directly with the Autobots. After coming at like revealing themselves, there was a United Nations act, like give the Autobots asylum, because they saw what the Decepticons can do with the with Cobra. So they were like, yeah, we'll push it, we'll pass an act that will give the Autobots asylum and treat them like citizens. Which means this would never happen in real life, because God knows we can't even treat our own citizens like that. But I digress. But as for the Nemesis, yeah, that had everybody. Like the Autobots for a hot minute in the 90s, like why they were hiding so much was because Megatron and the Decepticons were at, again, not every Decepticon is with the Autobots, but it was enough of the Decepticon group to keep the Autobots in hiding. So Megatron knew Optimus was out there, but he and the Autobots that stayed on the Ark when it crashed, they went into hiding and kind of fought in like a secret war until like more Autobots could find their way to Earth. Anyway, so yeah, I'm sure you all can hear that through the mic, but I'm sorry. Anyway, so I just thought I'd come on here and talk about just a couple things about the Infinityverse, and you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of this stuff with the Transformers? Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.